Hello friends, Allison Ramirez here, Catholic author, editor, and content creator. Thank you for tuning into today's video. I know that it has been a while since I have posted something new. I think it's been about 6 weeks since I've been back on YouTube, and just a few updates on what I have been doing this past 6 weeks. A big reason why I took a break from YouTube was because my day job as a pastoral assistant for faith formation was taking up quite a bit of my time. For those of you who are in parish ministry, you know that this time of year, as we near May, a lot of preparations are needed for First Communion and Confirmation, sacramental masses, a lot of retreats, just wrapping up the year. And so that took a lot of my time. And as my day job, I kind of have to give it most of my time. And then I've also been working on getting some edits done for my newest book project, which is my fiction Christian dystopian novel that I am working on. I have my critique partners, and then I had a line of beta readers that were waiting for me to get my third draft edits to them, and I just did not have the time as much as I wanted to work on that. And so YouTube took a break, or I took a break, I should say, from YouTube videos, but I am back. And I will say that I'm not going to commit to any sort of posting schedule, just because, again, with my day job and my book project, and also I should mention I actually recently got accepted to a master's in theology program through Holy Apostles College. I'm actually super excited because I have been out of school for 2.5 years, and unlike a lot of people, I actually really enjoy school, and so I'm super excited to be back and pursuing this master's degree. But that said, that's also going to take a big chunk of my time too, so probably won't see me on YouTube that much. And I also have a hard time coming up with new content ideas for YouTube. I really admire those YouTubers that are always just, putting out new videos like all the time, and they have all these cool ideas on things they want to share. That's not really me. It takes me a really long time to edit my videos, and it takes me a while to really come up with my ideas and flesh out the points I want to talk about. So yeah, all that to say, that's where I've been and what I've been up to. I hope that you are all doing well and enjoying hopefully nicer weather and getting ready for summer. But today's video is going to be all about how to cultivate a community as a Christian author. I had been thinking about this video for some time, just because when I first began my journey of seriously wanting to become an author about just over a year ago now, I was working on my craft. I wanted to produce really good writing, really good books, which I still do, but I had lacked that community element. I didn't really have critique partners or beta readers or just a supportive writing community to help me through the ups and downs that is being an author. And so maybe you have felt the same way. Maybe you are just writing kind of in solitary and you don't really have anyone to bounce ideas off. You don't really have anyone to give feedback or advice on your work. And if that's you, I hope you find this video helpful, because I didn't realize how much community actually is out there, specifically from that Christian sphere, because I found a lot of really great YouTubers helpful. I found a lot of books helpful, but I couldn't really find anything from the Christian perspective, like other Christian writers who are writing in that niche, who want to write faith-based books that really inspire other people and draw others into their faith. I had a hard time finding that, and so it's only been in the past maybe 6 months that I've really found some great resources. And so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 Christian-based author organizations that I have found super reputable, super helpful in creating and cultivating that author community. So I actually am listing these 5. I'm going to go through them in order from the ones that I'm most familiar with down to the one that I'm least familiar with. All 5 of these I know at least somewhat about them, and I have taken steps to become and join these communities. And I should also mention that I believe most, if not all 5 of these organizations do require some sort of monthly or yearly payment in order to access their resources. There's a couple exceptions, and there's also a couple opportunities to where if you say that you're going to help in some capacity with the work that they're doing. Sometimes you can get like a reduced fee or not even have to pay a fee at all to be a part of these organizations. But I will say upfront that you do typically have to pay at least a little bit of money to be a part of these communities. And I think that's in part because they're creating these resources, they're creating these videos, they're creating these networking opportunities. And so in order to do that, in order to pay like those who are creating these resources and help keep the organizations going, they have to charge some sort of a fee. So all 5 of these organizations, in some way or another, they have things like podcasts, blogs, support groups, forums, contests, newsletters, feature opportunities, courses, retreats, and all around opportunities to connect with other writers, grow your craft, grow your knowledge, and find other resources. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with the Catholic Writers Guild. You can find them at CatholicWritersGuild.org. This is the first organization that I have found really valuable to me in building that community. I'm going to go ahead and read to you kind of the mission statement of the Catholic Writers Guild from their website. So their statement is that the Catholic Writers Guild is a group of writers, artists, editors, illustrators, and allies dedicated to building a vibrant Catholic literary and artistic culture. We do this by encouraging each other to create, publish, perform, and share our work, by reflecting upon core Catholic values in art, and by networking among ourselves and with others within the faith and literary communities. Okay, so in other words, the Catholic Writers Guild is just a group of Catholic authors and writers who want to support and help one another. So I've actually had the privilege of attending the Catholic Writers Guild online conference for the past 2 years. The first year I was a participant, and this is just like a 2.5, 3-day retreat online where there's panelists, there's speakers on all sorts of Christian writing, editing, publishing topics. There's networking opportunities. There's a lot of free resources for signing up for the conference. And the first year I was a participant, and there's also opportunities to pitch your book idea to publishers, which is a really neat opportunity. And the ones who run the Catholic Writers Guild, I found them all to be very friendly, very knowledgeable, very helpful, and just an overall quality organization. These past couple months ago, back in February, I was a presenter at the 2022 Catholic Writers Guild conference, and I just met so many writers and authors. That's actually how I was able to find some critique partners and some beta readers, was through that conference. It's a yearly virtual conference in February. I know they also have, I think, an in-person conference that changes locations year to year that you can go to. In order to be a member of the Catholic Writers Guild, it's $40 a one-time pay, and it gets you covered for that whole year. So $40 for a yearly membership, which I don't think is that bad. They have, again, like they have forums, they have opportunities to get like a seal of approval on your books. They have feature opportunities. They have that yearly conference that comes around. And so I'd highly recommend the Catholic Writers Guild. That was my very first exposure to some sort of like Christian writers community. And I would highly recommend them. Okay, so number 2. I actually recently just came across this group, and I think they're actually a pretty brand new group. I don't know if they've even been around for a year yet, but already I've just been really enjoying the resources from this group, which is called CatholicAuthor. And the founder of CatholicAuthor is Dominic D'Souza, and the mission statement of CatholicAuthor is that they are a Catholic community for the modern Catholic author. They want to help Catholic authors grow, connect, and keep writing. Specifically, modern Catholic authors want to write compelling, faith-fired fiction in many genres, and CatholicAuthor is a creative community where we can get better at our writing, give and get feedback, build a writing portfolio, and grow your writing network. That what I just read was word for word like what it says on the website. And so CatholicAuthor is really neat because they really want to kind of help writers to tell a really compelling story with those Catholic themes interspersed in. But they have, again, similar to the Catholic Writers Guild, they have like a forum that you can post your questions and kind of like communicate and respond and network with other writers within that forum. They also have a Catholic Author podcast, which I actually was recently interviewed on the podcast. You can actually find my video on the Catholic Author site, which is just, let's see here, CatholicAuthor.us. And they have the blog, and they actually post the podcast videos up to YouTube, to Spotify, and Dominic will just interview a Catholic author guest, and they'll just talk about craft and creed, and all about the writing process. And so I believe it's $5 or $7 a month to be a member, but actually when I was interviewed, when I was a member of the podcast, I actually got a free access to all the resources for just coming on as a speaker. So I don't know if that's still an opportunity, but if you're interested in that, maybe you can look into getting featured on the podcast, and that might give you free access to the rest of the content, which again, they have a mini course that's all about Catholic writing, which I went through and found super helpful. And then they've got that networking opportunity, and they've got several like online retreats, and they actually, I think, are working on like a journal of like short stories that the members contribute, and then you get like a physical copy of the journal, which I don't know if it'll be quarterly or yearly, but I heard that was recently happening. So Catholic Author is really cool, especially if you're specifically a fiction author. I think you'll find a lot of benefit to this organization. Okay. Number 3, I would also recommend the organization that's called Spoken Women. So this, and again, I'm reading from their website, Spoken Women is a group specifically for Catholic women who are searching for a community of creative Catholics to call home. And some of their main pillars are that they advocate for savvy learning, network of support, and just a friendly and encouraging Catholic creative community. Mary Mahan Dietrich, hopefully I said her name right. She is the founder of Spoken Women, and I actually have been, I'm one of their contributors for their articles. So usually like maybe once every couple months I'll write an article and it's featured on their blog. I think again, they have a lot of different networking opportunities, blog featuring opportunities. I don't know if there's a cost to be a part of the Spoken Women team. You would have to go onto their website and check that out, which is just spokenwomen.com. But if you're looking for a group that's specifically for women and supporting and encouraging one another as Catholic authors, I would highly recommend checking them out. I would also say too that I don't think they're limited to just writers. I think they might even like also accept like illustrators or like graphic designers or kind of other type of like the creative niche. But I couldn't say for sure, so you'd have to look into that. Now the 4th resource organization that I would recommend, and this is the group that I'm not super familiar with their work, but I have utilized their Facebook page for looking for beta readers for my book, and I found that helpful. But this group is called Catholic Creatives. And reading again from their mission statement on their website, they're a movement of Catholic designers, filmmakers, photographers, creative thinkers, artists, entrepreneurs, and others working to bring the gospel to the world in fresh and beautiful ways. Our community provides members a space for feedback, collaboration, and resources. So they have a lot of video resources, I've noticed. I think they have a podcast and they have a blog. And I know for sure that Catholic Creatives is all about any sort of creative. Like, you know, you don't just have to be a writer. Anyone who's like, maybe you could be a musician, you could be an artist. You can find their resources helpful. And I know that they have a Facebook page where you can post like projects that you're working on and get help or mentoring opportunities as well. And their website is CatholicCreatives.com. And I don't think that there's any fee to be a part of their group, but you'd have to double check on their website. Okay, last but not least, the 5th organization for kind of cultivating that Catholic author network would be the Word on Fire Institute. Now, this is a group that I actually recently came across. I was already familiar with Bishop Robert Barron and the Word on Fire Institute as a whole, but I was not familiar with some of their other resources that they give specifically for authors. Okay, so sorry that the camera angle is now different. My battery in my camera just died, and so I am filming closer to the wall with the camera plugged in. So the camera might also be shaky because my stand isn't, it's having issues. Anyway, I was just about to talk about the 5th organization for Catholic community, which is the Word on Fire Institute. Recently, I realized that they actually have an opportunity to be a member. Now, the fee for their group is a little pricey for like a monthly basis. They ask for $27 a month. But I will say that if you're a member of like a local parish community, you might like go to your pastor or go to your faith formation director and ask them about the possibility of having the parish like purchase that subscription, that monthly subscription of $27 a month, because at the parish level that might be a lot more reasonable, because this membership gets you access to like, I don't know if it's like over 20 courses, like multi-class courses that you can take on a whole bunch of different Catholic topics. And then they also have access to all these individual support groups that you can join. And the Word on Fire Institute is extremely reputable and extremely quality resources, not just for writers, but just for the Catholic evangelization effort as a whole. And so perhaps if your parish would be willing to like pay for that $27 a month, like monthly subscription, you would get access not just to their writing resources, but to all their resources that they have available through the Word on Fire Institute. So that's, I guess, a little advice if the cost seems a little off-putting to you. Right now, though, I think they're still doing this, but during Lent and a little bit after Lent, they were doing this 30-day free trial where you could sign up for the Word on Fire Institute and have 30-day free access, which I'm currently doing right now, and that's how I'm accessing their Creative Writing for Evangelization course. So what this is Word on Fire Institute has what they call fellows, which are different like professors or different teachers or just different like lay apostolate representatives who teach these online courses for those members of the Word on Fire Institute. Right now, I'm going through the first lesson by Dr. Holly Ordway. Her course is called Creative Writing for Evangelization, and she's got 5 lessons, and each lesson is like 30 minutes to like an hour, and then she has like workbook, I think a workbook that you can go through and other supplemental resources. But that's a course that I think you might find helpful. I'm really enjoying it. But the cool thing about the course is that Word on Fire has what's called a Emmaus writing group. And I'm actually currently in the process of applying to become a member of this group right now. But I just want to go ahead and read you what it says about these Emmaus writing groups on their website. So the Emmaus group is for the support and growth of Institute members who wish to evangelize through writing in various forms, including but not limited to creative writing. The discussion will include topics such as the writing process, different types of writing, reaching one's audience, and publication. Another key element of this group will be that writers can request feedback from group members on their work in progress and can ask for advice and feedback on any aspect of their writing. The group welcomes writers of all stages, both published and unpublished, and the group's topics cover writing in all forms and audiences, from parish newsletters to blog posts to nonfiction books, poetry, and novels. Members who are not active writers but who wish to support the development of good writing through effective feedback and support are also welcome to join, but the focus of the group will always remain on the practical aspects of writing, not necessarily on the literary discussion. So because of limited spaces within these groups, you actually have to fill out and submit an application request, and then I think there's like a wait list, and then I think spots kind of open up on like every few weeks or maybe every month. I'm actually currently undergoing this application, so stay tuned for what happens with that, but it seems like a really neat opportunity to actually join a very like specific committed group of people who are willing to read each other's work and offer that feedback and support. So those are my 5 organizations for Christian Catholic authors. I hope that you learned something new and that maybe you found one or more of these organizations helpful. But I really can't stress enough just the value of community for being an author, especially if you really want to take your writing more seriously and you're not just doing it for fun, but you actually hope to publish your work one day or write multiple books. Really the best way that you're going to get better is to have other people in your corner supporting you, mentoring you, especially people that are farther along on the journey, that can really read your work and give you that feedback that you need. Because I know for me that I still have so much room to grow, and I wouldn't really know those areas that I need improvement on if I didn't have the resources and the support of these communities. So again, thanks for tuning in today. I will also link below the direct links to all 5 of these organizations. And then if you have any video requests, feel free to kind of comment below on your video requests. As I mentioned, I'm probably not going to be on YouTube that much, but I'd be willing to be more active if I knew that there were different videos and different topics that you guys would like to see addressed. Happy Easter season. Enjoy these last few months until summer. And I wish you all well and happy writing.